What's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carter Walker. I love talking about movies, music, comics, and games, and I just got out of seeing the new Blumhouse horror movie titled Imaginary, directed by Jeff Wadlow, starring DeWanda Wise. It follows a family moving into a house, which is the stepmother's old childhood home, and the youngest girl forms a bond with an imaginary friend, which may become something sinister. And going into the movie, all I knew is that it had to do with an imaginary friend, and I'd seen like the one tiny sequence from the trailer where the teddy bear like bum rushes that dude, and that is all that I knew going into this movie. I didn't know Jeff Wadlow directed it. I didn't know who was in it. Nothing else. Before I get into Imaginary, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Did you think it would be better or worse than the trailers? Were you hoping for something more creative from Blumhouse, or is this just another Blumhouse L like they've been taking recently? Let me know in the comment section below and enjoy the video. Starting out with the positives, the biggest positive that I can give this is that DeWanda Wise really goes for her acting here. She really tries to make this a better movie than it actually is. She gives all her effort here, and even though the movie isn't the greatest, she is the standout in this film. Same with the little girl. A lot of her line readings can be cheesy, and a lot of the line delivery could come off as cheesy, but I think that she does a good enough job here with what she's been given. I did think that some of the special effects were decent here. A few of the transitions were actually very, very cool. There was one jump scare that got me pretty good. And then the last positive, yes, the last positive I can give this movie is the score, especially like Chauncey's main theme was actually pretty memorable. Like I was like, okay, this kind of rips. Like this is pretty sick. That's it. That's pretty much all the positives I can give this film. Going into the mixed, everything technical here is just fine. Nothing really stands out. Like I said, some of the transitions with the cinematography was interesting. For the most part, it's just pretty bland and normal. There are a few shots here that do some cool things like vertical and horizontal planes, which I thought was nice, but again, it's mostly just not very memorable. There's not very many shots that stick out in this film. There were a few that I liked, but I mean, not very memorable sequences. A lot of that can also be attributed to just the film that it's in. Maybe if those shots or sequences had been in a different movie that I liked more, I would have enjoyed it better. However, I just couldn't get behind it. If I had to pick a technical aspect to really criticize, probably be the editing here. It felt a little disjointed most of the time, and at its worst, I could just tell there were things that were cut out here or edited around, maybe to kind of soften the blow of this film. Not that anything in here is very R-rated at all. It's actually kind of like a tame PG-13 movie. For the most part, I mean, there's like one F-bomb and a little bit of blood. For the most part, not much to kind of go off of here with the PG-13 to R. And I'm just going to cut to the chase, get to the negatives. I didn't like this movie at all. I thought for the most part it was very boring. The pacing was poor. The acting, apart from DeWanda Wise and the little girl, was so strange in a way to where you couldn't tell if it was overacting or underacting. For example, there's an old lady, Gloria, in this film, where all of her lines are read like so awkwardly to where I couldn't tell if she was so good at acting that you just felt uncomfortable and weird watching this character, or if it just felt very odd for her to do that. And I'm honestly not sure, like, was it good? Was it bad? I don't know, but it was weird and it was memorable. There is just so much in this movie that is just strange and is there for no reason. The line delivery and the dialogue is among some of the worst I've heard in a long time. A lot of things felt like they didn't really add towards the end here. There's a whole scene with her storybook that felt like maybe it was building something about the villain, and it kind of did, but it not really at all in the slightest. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe if I connect the dots hard enough, I can make sense of that, but not really, not in an interesting way. And to kind of just cap all this off, the biggest issue with this film is the writing. Not only is the dialogue just really bad, but I feel like this is an idea, again, that could have soared with a different director, and if it had really let loose and committed to that idea, it could have been really terrifying or really campy and fun, gone all out. I'm just having a hard time trying to figure out what to say. This is just the most generic movie I've ever seen, just with wasted ideas, wasted potential, and there's really nothing memorable to say about this film, unfortunately. I would have loved to gone in blind to a different movie and been like head over heels with it, like how I was with When Evil Lurks from last year. That was a movie where I went in blind, came out loving it. As brutal, unforgiving as that horror film was, I came out being like, yes, perfect. Same with Cobweb. Those two movies, I went in completely blind, really enjoyed them both. Unfortunately, this is another miss for Blumhouse. This review is probably super edited and like cut down a lot because I just kept repeating myself over and over and over in my review. All in all, this movie is forgettable, it's generic, and I was pretty bored for most of the runtime, unfortunately. Overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 3 out of 10. That gives it a title of a cowabummer, dude. This movie was just really hard to get through for some reason. Just everything kind of added up to be the perfect punch in the face for me to where I did not enjoy myself whatsoever. There are a few redeeming qualities in here, like some of the performances, and I feel like the ideas could actually be interesting in a different movie. However, again, just not done very well. So, all in all, guys, thank you so much for the support. We hit 400 subscribers the other day, and that was sick. I was so hyped about that. Thank you very much for all the support. Let me know if there's any movies I should see down in the comment section below. Anything I should review from this year, last year, you name it, I will probably review it. I'm going to be super busy coming into these next month and a half just with my school stuff. I'm shooting a short right now, writing another short that I have to do. So I'm going to be a little busy, but I'm going to try and see as much as I can. But as always, I'm Carter. Have a great rest of your day.